The Yankees are arguably the best sports franchise ever. That's no doubt. But the Yankees have been allergic to the World Series for the past 15 years and counting, possibly. But here's some things the Yankees can do to win the World Series. First off, 2023 Garrett Cole is coming off of a Cy Young year, but he can't do anything right now because he's injured. But last year, he boasted a 2.63 ERA with a 7.4 WAR and a sub 1 whip. Those numbers are amazing. And if he can get back sometime around the All Star break, then good things will happen to the Yankees pitching. And as I said, a 7.4 WAR is huge. He led the team last year for the New York Yankees. And if he can put up numbers close to that for a half the year, he'll still win 3 or 4 games for the team. And that might really help them down the stretch. You can never win too many games, am I right? After that, on my list, we have healthy bats. And the Yankees have always been injury plagued. There's always been injury problems. They've always had trouble staying healthy. Their best players always seem to be hurt. And as soon as one player starts doing well, another seems to wind up on the IL. But as of May 18th of 2024, the Yankees have done a very good job staying healthy, at least in the offensive category. There have been very few injuries. Birdie went on the IL for 10 days, but that's really about it. And he's back and he's doing his job as a platoon hitter. But you're seeing Giancarlo Stanton healthy. Aaron Judge is starting to turn the wheels. Same with Gleyber Torres. He's starting to get some hits here and there. And Rizzo, who is putting up decent numbers after getting banged up last May by Fernando Tatis. So those are all good signs. And if the Yankees can stay somewhat healthy, then that will certainly improve their chances of reaching the World Series and winning it. My next factor, which is separate from injuries, I have specific players. Next is Bigfoot, or for those who don't know who that is, Giancarlo Stanton. And Giancarlo Stanton, when he's healthy, when he's hot, literally carries the Yankees on his shoulders. And if you've seen any of his records or just the way he's been swinging this year, he's very hit or miss, but he's already up to 10 home runs. He has 24 ribbies, and he's been getting benched about once a week. And, at first I wasn't a big fan of it, but so far so good. He's staying healthy, and I'd rather him miss a game here and there than miss 10 or 20 consecutive because that really does hinder the Yankees' momentum. But if you can keep him healthy, then good things will happen. He'll connect. And as I said, he's at 10 home runs, and, you know, he's with Judge as the only 10 home run duo in the entire American League. So the fact that those two are the only two guys in the same team with 10 home runs speaks that they're starting to turn things around and clobber some dingers. And just as important as Stan, if not much more important right now, you have Aaron Judge. And he's been on a tear the last few days, but he's our captain for a reason. He's put up huge numbers in the past few years, whether he's been healthy or not. And last year, an unfortunate incident in Los Angeles really did mess his season up, and it never really, you know, he didn't get to put up a full season there, but he was still mashing at a rate of less than 10 at bats per home run, which is better than Babe Ruth, and 300 something at bats, 37 home runs, and that's insane. And if you double that by one half or two times, then he's mirroring his 62 home run season. And this year started off to a slow start in April, but he's really found his footing the past couple weeks. And he hits anything like the back of his card. And the Yankees are going to be looking at a 6, 7, 8 WAR player, and that will easily cruise the Yankees to some postseason success. He had a post 10 WAR in 2022, just to let you know what he's capable of, north of 10. So he's a great player, arguably the best hitter active right now, and keep him healthy, keeping the team hyped up, and good things will happen. And Rizzo post concussion, this year he isn't some, he isn't some roid head hitting home runs all the time, but you're seeing good defense from him, and he always brings a good spark to the clubhouse. He passed 300 career home runs this season. He's sitting at 7 right now, not bad. I mean, he's on pace for 25 or 30 home runs this season, which is Rizzo numbers. You want that, and You hope that if he hits a hot streak, which he hasn't really done yet this year, when he hits a hot streak, maybe he hits a few home runs in a week and, he gets you a win or two there. So what you want to see from Rizzo is you want to see a combination of power, but also fundamentals. You want to continue seeing him get on base and scoring runs, and you want him to be a threat so they can't get around Stanton or they can't get around Verdugo. You want those guys to be getting pitched to right now. Never mind Soto and Judge, but if the whole lineup starts doing this job, then you're not going to just be able to walk Judge like you were able to last year because, as I said, you have Soto, you have Stanton healthy, you have Torres who's starting to get some hits here and there, waking up a little bit, and you have Rizzo who is a lot better off than he was after he got banged up last May. Now he's playing somewhat to the back of his card, could play a little better, but he's doing his job right now. And I alluded to this a few times, but Glaber turning the page is going to be huge to the Yankees winning. And he's known for good defense, but right now he's playing to a 72 OPS plus on the season, 28% below league average. And as I said, he's starting to break out of that a little bit, but that is far below his 112 career OPS plus. So with Torres, I just think he needs a month or two of good hitting, and he'll be in good hands. And then he just needs to kind of level off for the rest of the season. After that on my list, I have X factors, and these are players that you didn't expect a whole lot of that end up benefiting to your season by contributing. So Verdugo, I think, is an X factor. Alex Verdugo, when we traded for him in the offseason, a lot of people thought he'd be platooning. He was kind of a throw-in. It wasn't going to be bad, but he was going to be a backup, or maybe he'd start once or twice a week or something. But now people are starting to realize, hey, Verdugo, he's been a little cold right now, but Verdugo has helped the team. He's played good defense. He brings charisma to the dugout and to the fans. The fans like him. And, despite being an ex-Red Sox, I think he's growing on a lot of Yankee fans. And he's been batting cleanup for the past few weeks. And he's been doing his job. He's knocking runs in here and there, and, he's doing all right. I don't know if he'd be my number 4 hitter on my lineup, but the bottom line is he's been pretty productive this year. And, he's one of the X factors. And then also you hope with the pitching, you have Luis Heel, who's been good. Clark Schmidt's been lights out the last few starts. Great this season. And you want your other players like Rodon and Nestor Cortez, you want them to start waking up as well, because when you get the whole team back, good things will happen. And right now we have a World Series caliber team, but we just need all the pieces to come together. Management, so we need a little bit more instinct. I think, Aaron Boone is a very textbook manager, and that's good in some situations. He has some knowledge and, he knows what he's doing at times, but other times he's made some bonehead decisions. I think when he benches players after hitting home runs, it's nonsense. They don't need a rest day the day before the team's off. There's certain things with the management, taking players out too early, especially pitchers. And if we can manage the team a little better, less front office, more instinct, more present management, then I think the team will get further, because it will allow the team to be in the moment and not mess up by looking, at percentage chances or what happened the last at bat. You got to know the player. You got to know what they're capable of doing, and you got to have trust in your players and team. And, I've also alluded to this a few times, but consistency. And if our team is consistently healthy, that's a good thing. If our team is consistently unhealthy like last year, then we're going to miss the playoffs. And last year we finished an 82 and 80 clip, which didn't get us to the playoffs. It did let us finish 2 games over 500, which is, as a Yankees fan, we do not want to be finishing at 500. We want a 600 or 700 finish, probably 600, and we want to be making the playoffs at least, and we want to get into that World Series. We don't want to be getting, swept in the wild card like 2021. We don't want to be getting laughed at by the Astros again. So the Astros, they probably won't be a threat this year, or at least this postseason. They're probably not going to make that. But, we need the Yankees to be consistent and good down the stretch. 2022, you saw them really good in the second half, and they fizzled out. You saw them really good the first half, and you saw them fizzle out in the second half. So the team in the last few years has been inconsistent, and they haven't been good when it really matters. So we need the Yankees to really lock in when it matters. And as I also said, we can't peak early, because if we peak early like we did in 2022, we'll have zero momentum going into the postseason. And that is a recipe for disaster, because we only play the regular season so we can make the postseason. There is no point of playing the regular season and not being a contender in the postseason. We need the playoffs. But those are my points for how I think the Yankees could become a World Series caliber team again. It's been 15 years, overdue. We need to happen this year. And if you guys enjoyed my first video on this channel, please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn notifications on so you never miss an upload. You guys don't want to do that. But this was the first thing on Mike's mind on this new channel. And I'm going to sign off. And the next time I post, I'll have something new on my mind. See you guys.